The capillaries are microscopic blood vessels that supply blood to the tissues. They function in the exchange of nutrients, gases, fluids, and wastes between the blood and those tissues. The capillaries are so small in diameter that their walls consist of only the tunica intima, with the primary cell type being the endothelium. There is a thin connective tissue structure called the basement membrane that functions to anchor the endothelium of the capillary to nearby tissues. Their thin walls allow materials, nutrients, wastes, or gases to move by osmosis, diffusion, or other transport mechanisms between the blood and the tissues that they serve. So for exchange of materials to occur, the walls of capillaries must be slightly leaky, meaning that fluid but not blood cells have the ability to seep out of them and enter the tissues that those capillaries are distributing things to. There are 3 types of capillaries within the body. The first of the capillary types is the continuous capillaries, and these are the most common and the least leaky or the least permeable capillary type. They possess small gaps that are called clefts between the endothelial cells to allow for exchange of fluids and small molecules. For continuous capillaries that are found in the brain, they possess no clefts and very abundant tight junctions due to the blood-brain barrier. This only allows for the exchange of very specific fluids, nutrients, and wastes. So no other materials, including some drugs and medicines, are permitted to enter the brain tissue because of the presence of the blood-brain barrier. Next are the fenestrated capillaries, and the fenestrated capillaries have small fenestrations or small pores in their walls. They are more permeable than the continuous capillaries. These capillaries are common in the kidneys, where they create a substance called filtrate that is then processed for nutrients and wastes. And they're also common in the small intestine, where they function to absorb the nutrients from digested foods. And lastly, we have the sinusoid capillaries. And the sinusoid capillaries have large gaps between their endothelial cells. They are the most permeable capillary type, but they are the least common in the body. They are primarily found in the liver, which functions to cleanse the blood of any harmful substances that may have been ingested, in addition to processing many nutrients. The sinusoid capillaries of the liver allow the entry of blood proteins that the liver makes. They're also found in the spleen and lymph nodes, which allows entry or exit of leukocytes, in addition to being found in the bone marrow, which allows the entry of new blood cells into the blood plasma. Figure 20.5 illustrates the 3 capillary types. The continuous capillaries on the left have very narrow clefts or gaps between their endothelial cells, except for the continuous capillaries of the brain, which have no clefts and abundant tight junctions. The fenestrated capillaries have small pores or fenestrations in their endothelium, while the sinusoid capillaries have large gaps between their endothelial cells.